Hey everyone, it's Jacob Snow here, lead designer of games at Dragon Ridge Studios, bringing you a brand new Legends of Albadyn video. This one is essentially sort of a recap video for everything that's happened over 2018 for the game, and we're going to cover some of the big changes that happened very late last year now. But before we get into that, first, I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Joyous Kwanzaa, Happy Solstice, and any other winter holiday that may be celebrated. I hope you all had a great one. And secondly, I hope you all had a splendid New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. I, for one, had a great Christmas, got some new books, got some new materials for Albadyn, and overall, just had a really good time with friends and family. My New Year's Eve was spectacular as well. And as I reflected at 2018, I went, man, I really need to make some new videos. And the reason for this we will get into here in a moment. Specifically the 2.0 update. But before we get into that, some other changes that occurred. So the first change that occurred, really big change, was Legends of Albadyn launched its second edition in August of 2018. Legends of Albadyn came out in 2016, and second edition went live in August of 2018, so it was on the anniversary of our release of our third year, second year of being live, which is really huge for us. It's always a really big thing here at my humble abode, and we always celebrate with a big elite quest and everything. But this year we celebrated, in addition, the first edition of Legends of Albadyn releasing. We celebrated the successful release and launch of Legends of Albadyn. Sorry, cat was checking the camera. Legends of Albadyn 2nd Edition. Now, 2nd Edition brought with it some pretty big changes. It brought the guild system, it brought some new classes, brought some balancing updates, a couple of new modes, and it brought with it a whole bunch of new content, some new monsters, some new monster factions, some monster rebalancing. And overall, just took the game and polished it and condensed the entire game into a single volume instead of the two-volume thing that had been used in first edition. There's no longer a need to buy 2 books to play Legend of Albadyn. You need only buy 1. Then, as time went on, I was working on an expansion for Legends of Albadyn. And as I was working on that expansion, I had to beta test some content, make sure it was balanced properly, and in terms of testing it, it started driving me nuts. The combat was taking so long, it was so difficult to beta test this new monster. And so, having designed another game this year, which we'll get into toward the end of the video, I decided, well, what if I took the system from that game and just used it for all of it, and just for the purpose of testing. So, we'll keep the system the same as time progresses. When we publish the update, this is just for testing this particular monster, so I can do it faster and test more content tonight because I've got a limited time window. Now, as I was playing it, it kind of occurred to me that it was a better system, which led to the release of the Legends of Albadyn 2nd Edition 2.0 rules. And we'll get to those here in a minute. It led to the release of a new book. It led to the release of our Kindle version, which is really great. And it just kind of led to a remastering of things all around, and led to some things that made the game stand out more, in addition to simplifying an already simple system. We're going to get into that. I'm going to cover the camera for a second, and we'll get to the gameplay changes that 2.0 brought. So here we see the standard Legends of Albadyn board that I've been filming videos on forever. And we see 2 characters. One is Harlow. She's a debut character. She just came out, just released. In the last video we did before 2.0 went live, we did a character build for Harlow. human warrior. She's just starting out. She's a completely brand new character. And she's kind of the character we're going to follow from starting to mythic rank. That's the theory. Anyway, it's good that she's the character that we're doing this with, because it's a completely blank slate, not character-wise, but leveling-wise and everything. And it's better for moving into 2.0 for her to have not really been in that many videos. So the Legends of Albadyn 1.0 system works like this. Harlow would have bonuses. She would only have 3 actions, and she would have fixed bonuses that would be attached to her dice. So let's say that Harlow is over here, and this guy was right here. Providing everyone would stop falling over, she would use 2 actions to go 1, 2. She would get a free action for landing next to something she could attack. So she would attack. Her roll would be 5 plus 7, which means her total would be 13. And the Highwayman, his roll was 4 plus his defense bonus of 6, which would lead to 10. He would take 2 damage and be destroyed. And she would still have 1 action left because of a free action. If, however, he had been over here, she would not have been able to get to him, and he would have then been able to move in and attack her. And he would have had 2, and so he would have rolled 6 plus 5, which is his attack bonus, so you have to keep track of his attack and his defense bonus. That leads to a total of 13 against her defense bonus of 4, so 5 plus 4 is 9. She takes 1 damage. That was how the system worked, and it got really cumbersome if... Now it's Harlow's turn. She has 3 actions. She attacks, let's just say for the sake of, whatever, she rolls a 1, and he rolls a 5. Well, his defense bonus is higher than her attack bonus roll, and everything combined, so she would have to attack again. Nay, calamity of drastic proportions. 7 plus 3 is 10. He rolls another 5, and so you would just have to be sitting here for long periods of time doing this. Now, yes, is it a great system? Yes, it totally was. Was it time-consuming? Yes, it made battles, especially when you had high volumes of characters attacking each other, drag on forever. It seemed like the battle would never end. Believe me, I know. I went through some beta testing with a friend of mine once, and the battle took a whopping hour and a half, simply because of volume of hit points, volume of rolling, volume of everything. And that was why the beta testing that I was doing solo for the expansion took so long. 2.0 system changes all of that. I'll take you now to Harlow's character sheet. Firstly, this looks a lot more complicated than the one that we showcased in our last video. It's not, however. 7, that's her hit points, because she's a gilded character. She's a human, yes, which means she's got 6 hit points. But when you join a guild, you get 1 hit point, so she has 7. Secondly, these wings here, this is just from my character sheet, simplify her movement speed of 3. And that sword simplifies her attack speed of 3. So let's say that she's all the way over here. Then she goes 1, 2, 3. Now, in original Albadyn, well, let's say she was actually closer and was able to close. In original Albadyn, she would get 1 free action for attacking. Ooh, bad dice. Ooh, and that attack failed. In this version, however, she has 3 attack speed. All of her attacks are going on that one guy. That brings us to this. Is this a good roll or not? With her bonuses, with the bonus system of 1.0, it's a 50-50 roll, because it's 7, 8, 9. You got 2 9s and a 12. You got 2 9s and a 12. That's not really too shabby, especially seeing as he had a defense bonus of 6. But bear in mind, you would never roll in 1.0 that many dice at a time. It would have been a 5, then a 2, then a 2. And his defense rolls would have been a 2, then a 1, then a 5. It would have taken a while to do. This version, however, her right over here, you see that's 3 plus. What that is that's her required to hit or RTH roll. and she hits on a 3+. So let's see what she does with that. Okay, so these 2 dice, seeing as she was attacking the same target, she rolled 3 dice because that's her attack speed. She rolled 3 dice against that one target. Now, if she had been attacking, let's say, she attacks this dude twice, she would roll 2 dice. And then he would roll for his defense based on how many dice had succeeded. 2 succeeded, so he rolls 2 defense dice. Ooh, he is one defeated bandit because the bandit defends on a 4+. That's what this is. The RTD, or required to defend roll. So he just bombed his required to defend. He gets knocked out. Now, she has 1 attack speed left, so she attacks with it. It hits because she hits on anything that's higher than a 3+. And he will defend 3. His defense is 4+, so he goes down 2. That system, that battle, would have taken probably a good 4 to 5 minutes in the original Albadyn system, but then again, no, it wouldn't have because she had to move 3 squares to get here. 1, 2, 3. Which means she would have had 1 free action for landing next to something she could attack, and she could only go like this, and then they would go, oh, well, that attack still would have gone through, but she still would have had a threat active here. So the 2.0 system took the combat, took away the bonuses, because literally everyone I played with ever went, oh, that's a great roll. Yeah, but sorry, it still loses. How does a 6 lose to a 4, Jacob? Well, his defense bonus is higher than your attack bonus, so unfortunately that fails. With the 2.0 system, this is actually a pair of really nice dice, because if your defense bonus is a 3-up or 4-up, that's successful. If your attack bonus is literally anything, if your attack required to hit roll is literally anything, that is a hit. So, but that defense roll is a success, so they cancel each other out. Now, what all does the 2.0 update affect? Firstly, it affected the book. Any copies of the Legends of Albadyn 2nd edition book that were purchased before the date of September, such as the copy that I have personally, well, unfortunately, that's outdated information. But worry not, no one was affected by this, because the royalty reports and everything show that no copies had sold between August and November, which is when the 2.0 updates were going live. So nobody got messed over by this except for me, because I had bought a copy and now it is outdated. But that also means that now is the perfect time, literally perfect time to hop on, is because you will have, when you buy your copy, the freshest, most current, most balanced version of Legends of Albadyn that has ever existed. This affected race selection in character creation. Every race has movement and attack speed. Some races, like human, are perfectly balanced. 3 attack, 3 movement. While other races, such as the... one second, let me find them. As the orc, Ogor here, he has a movement speed of 5 and an attack speed of 3. Some move faster and attack slower. Others move slower and attack faster. So that's what that is. It affected the racial selection, because now when you choose a race, well, you might just be choosing based on your racial stats and the kind of character you're wanting to build. And if you want to do that, by all means, that's fine. Me personally, I tend toward the human side because, well, they're more balanced, and just most of my characters landed human. The next thing it affected: character creation, class selection. Classes don't affect these numbers here, but they determine in their entirety these numbers here. For instance, Harlow here is a warrior. Her attacks land on a 3+. She defends on a 5+, which means it's really easy for her to take damage. Whereas we have Zandra, who is my most legendary character. She is insanely powerful. Her attacks land on a 2+, and her defense rolls succeed on a 3+. So she is very hard to hit and hits very easily. She's a Vahalier. I'm fairly certain I didn't get that movement and attack speed right on the character sheet. In case you're wondering what in Oblivion is that? That signifies the fact that she has the Flattener Warhammer and does 4 damage per hit. That's an item that she bought. She is insanely powerful. Her skills set and everything is just nuts. So it affected racial selection, it affected character creation, and most dramatically and most headache-inducingly of all, it affected monsters. Every single monster in Legends of Albadyn now has its own speed and own rolls. I had to overhaul that, and that was very exhausting. For instance, Bandit Highwayman. He has a movement speed of 2 and an attack speed of 2, and he hits on 5+ and defends on 4+. Bandit Thug. 5 movement speed, 3 attack speed. He's really fast and really aggressive. His attacks land on a 4+, and he defends on a 5+. And there are like roughly 16 to 20 monsters per monster faction. I don't have the number exactly right off the top of my head, but that is 3 monster factions, so roughly 60 monsters had to be remastered. And in addition, the final thing it affected was item purchasing. Items now change your required to hit or required to defend roll, and still operate the same in that they give you a skill instead of changing your ability. Rebalancing the item shop was really complicated, because a lot of them had abilities that affected the other things you did. For instance, Flattener. Flattener's a great example of this. Flattener's original incarnation reduced your, made you so where you could only attack once with it. That is still in effect. I need to adjust Sandra's attack speed to reflect this, but now it reduces your attack speed to 1. Some things also changed with the movement system, where everything is now speed-based. The rules had to change to reflect this. Originally in the How to Play section, you were taught how to utilize your 3 actions. Now in the How to Play section, you are taught how to utilize your speeds and how turn order works now that it is on a different system. All of that sounds very complicated, and indeed it was, but it created a much simpler, quicker moving game. And that is what matters to me. If I had known, going into creating Legends of Albadyn, that a dice chucking natural roll system would be easier than a single rolling bonus based system, the bonus based action based system never would have existed, because I strive to make the most accessible, fun games that I can, and this is a lot more fun and accessible than the other thing. Now, why did I have to change the bonus system? Why not just change the movement system or the attack system? Well, because with a 3-action system, tossing single dice is literally the only system that makes sense. I only have 3 actions. So if I moved 3 to get adjacent to this guy, I'm only going to be rolling 1 dice anyway. And then on his turn, he can just go like this. That's really broken, because, well, now he just rolled one of the dreaded 666 special, and with his attack bonus, that's 3 11s rolling toward my face. So if I was going to change just the attack system, it wouldn't work. You had to change the combat system too. I am extremely happy with how it plays now. Let's just go ahead and mess that up. I'm extremely happy with how the combat system plays now. It's much quicker. I can literally sit down, play a round of Albadyn with someone, and have everything cleaned up in roughly 3 minutes because of how quickly the combat moves and everything. Quests are also much faster moving, because prior, you and your friends would be confronting, or just you, depending, would be confronting tons of monsters against several player characters, and with each character taking several times to roll their dice and then rolling the defense rolls and everything, it moved really slowly. It was a great system. This system is better. I'm fine with both systems, but I prefer this system more. Getting down to the business end of things, this did reflect a little bit negatively on me because for quite some time, my publishing platform for my book kind of bogged me down. It had a whole lot of issues that weren't existent before, and so I had to restructure that. But the good news is there was a $10 price drop on the hard copy, and it also resulted in the existence of the Kindle edition of the Legends of Albadyn 2nd edition core book. The Kindle edition is $10. The hard copy edition is $30. You're getting the same content, but Kindle will always be a lower price and a more cost-effective option if you have the tablet to run it than the hard copy. Me personally, I always get the hard copy because the hard copy comes with a couple of character sheets in the back, and I simply can't edit those on my tablet. Whatever platform works for you, I hope you pick up a copy, and I hope you really enjoy the book because it's got some great illustrations, it's got a lot of lore, and it has way more content than found on the website. We got a couple of modes in there that aren't found on the website, a whole bunch of classes that aren't found on the website, and 2 additional monster factions that are not found on the website. You get a whole bushel of content, and it's content that will not go out of style because I really don't want to make another edition of Legends of Albadyn. I'm happy with how 2nd edition is, and I just want to add expansion content to that. So yeah, there will be links in the description down below that will take you to our Amazon page, that will take you to our website, that will take you to the website of the other game that I designed in 2018, which is called Project Champions the Game, the MMO for your tabletop. There's a link to that down below. It is a great game. It's a ton of fun. It plays really fast. Well, just go check it out. I think that if you like Albadyn, you'll like Project Champions pretty good. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you all have a great 2019. It's shaping up to be pretty decent in these first 3 days of it. I hope that it is one of the best years that you've had yet. I hope you get to play lots of Albadyn. I hope you get to play lots of whatever games make you happy. I hope you get to destroy a lot of bad things in those games. And I hope you get a wonderful year and that your life becomes a wonderful place this 2019. Have a great day, and may your legends continue.